मैं बैठ रहा हूँ आके.
Okay, the recording is on. Guys, welcome you all. Very good evening to every one of you. I hope you remember what we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, we discussed about the. I'm really sorry, not sure why, but I'm hearing an echo. Okay, I think now it's better. Thank you. Yeah. So in our last session, what we have discussed is, in our last session, we discussed about the installation, the different ways of doing the installation, and the lab related to the installation. Today, what we'll try to do is that, okay, first we'll try to discuss about the directory structure that gets created after we are then installing the WebSphere application server. Okay. On the other day, when we install the WebSphere application server, certain folders and the files got created. We'll try to discuss about the most important files and the folders, the significance of them. And
Shiv, sorry for interrupting. Shiv, just 1 more minute, 1 minute. Can you increase the font size also for this and then the notepad? And just give me 1 more minute before you start.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Let's start.
Okay. So guys, welcome you all once again. Okay. So in our last session, we discussed about the installation, the different ways of doing the installation, and the lab related to the installation. Hoping no more questions related to the installation, let's quickly jump into our next part of the session, which is related to the understanding of the directory structure that gets created post installing the WebSphere application server. Okay. I had installed the WebSphere application server, and after I install the WebSphere application server, where I have installed the WebSphere application server, I have installed the WebSphere application server in this particular path. What is the path? OPT IBM WebSphere app server. This particular path called as an OPT IBM WebSphere app server, this particular path is called as WAS home. From now onwards, I'll not say go to the path where the WebSphere application server is there. I'll simply say, can you go to the WAS home directory? What is meant by WAS home directory? It's a path where the WebSphere application server is installed. So this is generally the IT term which is used in the WebSphere world. So very, very important. Remember that. It's nothing wrong if you don't remember, but most of the experienced people generally don't say go to the path where the WebSphere application server is there. They simply say, can you go to the WAS home? What is meant by WAS home? WAS home is nothing but it's a path where the IBM WebSphere application server was installed. I have installed my IBM WebSphere application server software in this particular path. So using a CD command. What is a CD command? CD command is the one that will help us to change the directory. Okay. Let's say that I want to go to a root directory. So what do I say? I say CD root, which means to say that I want to move from my current directory. What is my current directory? How do I know what is the current directory I'm in? You simply type in the command called as pwd. P as in Papa, W as in Whiskey, D as in Denmark. Okay. So when you type in the command called as in pwd, it will tell you what is the current directory path you are in. If you want to move to a different directory other than the current directory, you have to use a command called as in cd. Cd, the complete path of that particular directory. So using the command called as cd, I move to the path where the IBM WebSphere application server is installed. This particular path where the IBM WebSphere application server is installed, it is called as WAS home. What is meant by WAS home? It's a path where the IBM WebSphere application server is installed. Clear? Anyone, any questions still here? Silence, can I assume it's clear to everyone? Okay. Silence, I'll assume it's clear to everyone. Let me continue. Okay. So after I went to the part where the IBM WebSphere application server was installed, I didn't executed a command called as an ls. What is ls command? As we discussed on the other day, ls means list of files. In the current directory, whatever I'm in, if I want to know what are the list of files that are there, okay, I simply type in the command called as an ls. ls means list of files. So when I try to see what exactly are the list of files and the folders present in the current directory, by executing a command called as an ls, then I see many files and the folders are present here. Clear? I went to the path where the IBM WebSphere application server is installed. How did I went to that particular path? I simply entered the command cd opt IBM WebSphere app server. So this is the command I executed. When I executed a command called cd opt IBM WebSphere app server, okay, which is a path where the WebSphere application server is installed, okay, and I try to find out what are the list of files in the folders present, okay. So I simply executed a command called as an ls. When I executed a command called as an ls, which means list of files and the folders present in that particular directory, I see n number of files and the folders here, okay. I see very high, I see almost many files and the folders in that particular directory. But it's not mandatory for us to know each and every file and each and every folder. But certain files and the folders are there which are very mandatory for you to know. We'll try to talk about those mandatory list of folders and the files, the significance about them, okay, right now. The first one on the list is the bin folder. What is meant by bin folder? Okay, bin is nothing but, always remember, it might be WebSphere, it might be WebLogic, it might be operating system, it might be database, it might be anything. Bin means it contains the executable files. The universal definition to the term bin is nothing but it contains the different executable files. Am I clear? What is meant by bin folder? Bin folder is nothing but it contains the different executable files that are there in the current directory. Clear? Anyone, any questions? Yes, am I clear? We are trying to talk about the directory structure, okay, present in the path where the WebSphere application server is there. I went to the path where the WebSphere application server is installed, called as in VAS home. Inside the VAS home, when I did an ls to see the list of files and the folders present, there were many list of files and the folders present. Okay, what we are trying to talk is, we are not talking about each and every file and each and every folder. We are trying to discuss about the most important folders which we have to know as in WebSphere admin status. So the first one in the list is the bin folder. What is meant by bin folder? Bin folder, it might be an WebSphere, it might be a WebLogic, it might be anything. The general universal definition for the bin folder is it contains the executable files. The different executable files you are seeing at the WebSphere application server installation level, whatever the executable files we need to execute at the VAS home level, all those list of executable files are there under the bin folder. Okay, for example, let's say that, okay, I want to create a profile. When I want to create a profile, okay, what is the profile creation? It is something we are trying to do at the installation level. So the executable commands related to creation, which is the configuration change we are trying to do at the installation level, okay, the corresponding executable file related to the same, okay, is present under the bin folder. So you simply go to the bin folder, and here we have two different commands to create a profile. First one is the manage profiles.sh. The other one is the profile management folder. Clear, everyone? I went to the VAS home directory, and the first folder we are trying to discuss is the bin folder. What is the bin folder? It's the bin folder has a universal definition, okay, can not only be applied for the WebSphere, it can be applied for WebLogic, JBoss, operating system, name it, okay, anywhere across the globe, the definition remains the same. What is the definition? Bin means it contains the executable files. The bin folder present at the WASM level contains the different executable files needed at the installation level. Whatever the configuration changes you are trying to do at the installation level, the corresponding executable files related to the same are stored under the bin folder. For example, let's say that I want to create a profile. Okay, what is the profile creation? The profile creation is a configuration change you are trying to do at the installation level. So the executable files related to the same are present under the WASM bin folder. What are those? We have two different commands. Either we can use manageprofiles.sh or either we can use the profile management folder. How we can use, what is the syntax related to that, etc. and etc. we'll talk a little bit later. But any questions still here? Atif, can you just check if everyone is okay? Can you just check if everyone is okay?
Yeah. So basically, you said all the executable files are in the bin folder, right?
All the executable files at the installation level.
Installation level. So what I was trying to explain them is it's the same thing because they don't have the Unix background. So I was just telling them like similar what we have in the Windows, like .exe file or .bash file, which we can execute, run. So it's similar that we have in Unix, usually we have the files with the extension .sh. So is it correct?
Yes, actually I was just saying about them, the same thing on last session. Okay. But one very important point is that this season I was just trying to make myself as general as possible. I didn't say about what are the different executable files. Whatever might be the executable files at the installation level. Okay. They are by default present under the WASM bin folder. The WASM bin folder contains the different executable files that are there running at the installation level. Okay, whatever changes you are trying to do, for most of them, the different executable files that are there, okay, that by default stored under the WASM bin directory. Is this clear to everyone?
Okay.
Can you check and confirm?
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If I don't say anything, if it's a silence, then just assume that everything is okay.
Okay. Then I'll do one thing. I'll wait for after I said is it clear to everyone, I'll wait for your silence for 3 seconds. Even within 3 seconds, if you're not responding, I'll assume it's clear to everyone over there, and I'll continue.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah. So the next one we have in the list is the configuration folder. Okay. What is the configuration folder? Okay. The configuration folder is a folder that contains the configuration related information. Whatever the configuration related information is there, okay, at your installation level, the complete info related to them is present under the configuration folder. Don't touch, don't edit under whatever the scenario you are in. Okay, whatever situation you are in, don't try to touch, don't try to edit. This is just for your information, FYI. Just for your information that configuration folder which is there, okay, it is a folder that contains the configuration related information at your installation level. At the installation level, whatever the configuration information is there, the complete info related to the same, we can find it here. Point number 1. Okay, clear to everyone? Anyone, any questions? Okay, silence, I'll take it as a no. I'm just executing a command called CLS. CLS is nothing but clear the screen. Sorry, CLEAR is nothing but clear the screen, which will report the screen. The command we already talked about. Yeah. The next one we have is the Derby folder. What is this Derby folder? What is the use of this Derby folder? The Derby folder is like how we have an Oracle database. SQL database, MS SQL. These are the different databases available in the market. Similarly, WebSphere Application Server says that, hey guys, buy my WebSphere Application Server, install my WebSphere Application Server. I'll give you a sample, an example database called as a Derby database for your usage. Clear? There is a default database that comes with the WebSphere Application Server called as Derby database. If you want to play, if you want to work with this particular Derby database, then the list of commands, the list of properties related to them is available here. Clear? What is the Derby folder? The Derby folder is the default database. Derby is nothing but it's the name of a database. Whenever you are trying to install the WebSphere Application Server, if you want or if you don't want, by default, a default database comes with the WebSphere Application Server called as a Derby database. The complete information related to them, like the properties, how do I start and stop, okay, the different JavaScript related to them, all that info you can find it under the WASOM Derby folder. Clear, everyone? Anyone, any questions? Okay, silence, I'll assume no questions. The next command we have is the etc folder. Very, very, very important. Okay, because
sorry, Chef, for interrupting. What do you say?
He said some all confirmation, right, on properties, Derby.properties.
Yeah, Derby.properties. Can you explain one more time?
Derby.properties, the lib folder, the bin folder which you are trying to see here, these are all the properties, the incomplete info related to the Derby database. Whenever you want to work, whenever you want to play with the default database that comes with the WebSphere Application Server called as a Derby database, okay, the complete info related to them, the properties, the executable files, the complete list of information related to that you'll be seeing under the Derby folder. Okay, Derby.properties, I think it contains the info related to the, okay, Derby.properties contains the info related to the Derby database, probably the username and password, etc. Clear? Clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone, any questions? Atif, did I answer the question? Okay, silence, I'll assume I have answered the question. Okay, the next one we have is the etc folder. What is the etc folder? Atif, you had a question?
No.
Okay, thank you. I'm hearing the echo once again. I'm hearing the echo. Okay, now I think it's fine. Yeah. The next folder in the list is the etc folder. What is the etc folder? etc. Always remember, it might be WebSphere Application Server, it might be WebSphere Portal Server, it might be MQ series, anything and everything in the IBM family wherever you're going. etc means it contains the security related information. Okay, this is the definitions. I'm trying to make sure I can give you as general as possible. So try to understand. Okay, what is the etc folder? etc is nothing but it contains the security related information. Okay, whatever might be the security related information, wherever you go in the WebSphere Application Server world, it might be WebSphere Application Server, WebSphere Portal, Commerce, Process, MQ and MB, wherever you go in the IBM world. By default, the definition of an etc folder is it contains the security related information. The etc folder, in our context, the etc folder present at the installation level contains the different information related to how we can try to secure our environment. What are the algorithms that are there? What is the algorithm that is being used? each and everything related to the security implementation at the installation level, okay, the complete info related to them is present under the etc folder. If you want, you can modify, but never and ever modify, okay, because modifying this folder alone will not reflect the changes. You have to make the changes in many more folders. So don't try to modify anything here. Just view the contents, try to understand the information that is there here. Clear? Anyone, any questions? Okay, silence. I'll assume no more questions. Okay, let me continue. The next folder after the etc folder, the next one we have is a first steps folder. This is the one that will be useful if and only if, okay, your operating system supports the GUI capability. Clear? Once again. Okay. The next folder we have is a first steps folder. What is meant by first steps folder? Okay, this is a folder which you can work, you can play, provided your operating system supports the GUI capability. If your operating system supports the GUI capability, then only you can use this. Why? Because inside the first steps.sh, okay, there is an executable file by name first steps.sh. When you execute this one, okay, and if your operating system supports the GUI capability, okay, I'm doing a CD and I'm going to this particular path. Okay, when I went into this particular path, there is an executable file by name first steps.sh. As we were discussing from long time back, always remember in a Unix operating system, by default, the executable files could be either the .bin file or it could be an .sh file. Clear? By default, in the Unix operating system, the different executable files that are there could be a .sh file or .bin file. Whenever you are trying to execute any of these executable files, prefix that by // or // whatever you name it. In a Windows, if you want to run any of the executable files, what we try to do, we simply try to execute, double click on that particular exe file, then the file will start getting executed. For example, if I want to run this particular software, I double click on it, okay, automatically the software will keep on running. Okay. So in a similar way, if you want to run a particular executable file in an Unix operating system, which could be either .sh or a .bin file, you can execute that by giving the command // firststeps.sh file. Clear? By simply executing the file by name first steps, by simply if you want to execute any executable file in a Unix operating system, // the complete name of that will run that particular executable file. In a Unix operating system, if your operating system supports the GUI capability, then unless until if your operating system doesn't support the GUI capability, this folder is of no use. If your operating system supports the GUI capability only, then only you can use this. What is the use of this particular folder? When you go inside this particular folder, how I can go? Simply say cd, the name of the folder. When you go inside this, we have an executable file by name firststeps.sh. When I run this particular software, here the GUI capability is not supported, so nothing will come. So when I execute this particular command, I'll show it to you here. Okay, when I go inside this, okay, we have an executable file by name firststeps.sh. This operating system will support the GUI capability, but here it will not support the GUI capability. So that's the reason, even though I executed the command, nothing happened. Okay, it just gave me a terminal. But in case if your operating system supports the GUI capability, when you execute the firststeps.sh, you get a GUI utility explaining you on how to create the profile post installing the WebSphere application server, how you can do the migration, the documentation, like that, whatever the best assistance it can give to you at the installation level, the complete info related to that is visible here. Okay? Am I clear? Yes, am I clear? We are trying to understand the use of an folder by name first steps. I said that, okay, at the VAS home level, okay, we have a folder by name first steps. Okay, when you go inside the first steps, we have an executable file by name firststeps.sh. What is the use of the firststeps.sh file? In case if your operating system supports the GUI capability, if you run that particular executable file, it will give you a GUI utility asking what are the things you want to do at the installation level. Do you want to create a profile? Do you want to do the migration of the WebSphere from the lower versions to the higher versions? Okay, what you want to do at the installation level, the complete list of operations which are supported by default is visible here. Clear? Anyone, any questions? Artist can just check if everyone is okay. Okay. Silence, I'll assume it's clear to everyone. So let me go to the next one. The next one, as every one of you know, okay, is the folder related to the Java. What is this Java folder? Okay, this Java folder is the folder, okay, that contains the Java that comes by default with the WebSphere application server. The Java that comes by default with the WebSphere application server, okay, is stored under the WASM Java folder. No need to understand, no need to do anything. But remember that the default JDK that comes with the WebSphere application server is by default stored under the WASM Java folder. Why? Because your WebSphere application server is a Java J2W based application server. So the Java has to be there. Clear? Am I clear? Why Java is, why they are giving you the Java folder? Because by default IBM WebSphere application server is a Java J2W based application server. So definitely the JDK is needed, the Java is needed to run that particular software. So that's the reason they are giving it to you here. The next one on the list is the logs folder. What is meant by the logs folder? Very important. Whatever things you are trying to do at the installation level, the complete log related to them is seen here. For example, you have installed the WebSphere application server. Okay, then go to the WASM logs directory and there's a folder by name install folder. Do a CD and go to that particular folder. When you type in the command ls to see the list of files and the folders present in that, you'll be seeing a file by name log.txt. Go to the last few lines of the log.txt. How I can go to the last few lines of the log.txt? The simple and the easiest command is the tailf, the name of the file. When you say tailf and the name of the file, it will give you the last few lines of that particular log file. Clear? What is meant? What is the use of a tail command? Okay, the use of a tailf command is, okay, it will give you the complete view of the last few lines. Okay, if you want to view the last few lines of the, okay, if you want to see the last few lines of the file, okay, then you can use the tailf command. But if you say that Shiva, not like that, I want to see the file, I want to see the contents there in the file, then you can use the command called as in more, okay, or cat, or if you want to edit the file, we can use a VA. We already talked about this. We can also use less. Okay, how we can use. Okay, we already talked about the VI editor. Okay, so I'll not discuss about this. More or cat or less commands are the one which are useful to view the files completely. Okay, if you say that Shiva not like that, I don't want to view the complete file. Okay, but I just want to view the last few lines of that particular file, then you can simply type in the command called as in tailf name of the file. Anyone, everyone clear? Any questions, everyone over here? Atif, can you just check with them? Is everyone clear and okay? Okay, silence. I'll assume no questions from anyone. Let me continue. So, we are trying to discuss about the log file that is present at the installation level. When you go to the log file, when you go to the folder by name logs, okay, present at the installation level, what is there inside the logs folder? The logs folder, when you see inside this, okay, it contains the different information about the things you are trying to do at the installation level. Whatever the things you want to do at the installation level, okay, whatever things you want to do at the installation level, the complete logging related to that is stored under the logs folder. Shiva, not clear, can you be more specific? Very simple example. We'll take a simple example. We have CC cameras kept at the entrance and exit. Why people keep the CC cameras at the entrance and exit? They connect the output of the CC cameras, okay, to that laptop or a TV. And whatever the people who are coming and leaving, the recording related to that will be stored on that particular computer. Tomorrow, let's say that some fellow came into my jewelry shop, did some stealing of a gold ornament, and I realized it on the next day. So what do? I go back to the yesterday's recording of the CC footage. I try to see the CC footage, then I can know, oh, these are the people who did so and so. In a similar way, you're performing some activity on the WebSphere application server. Probably you're trying to install, probably you're trying to work, probably you're trying to do some maintenance. Whatever the work you're trying to do at the installation level, okay, the complete recording of that info is done under the logs folder. The logs folder will contain the different recordings of the things you are trying to do at the installation level. Like CC camera, what does CC camera will do? It will do the recording of the people who are entering and who are leaving the particular location. In a similarly, whenever you are working with the WebSphere application server, okay, whatever the things you are trying to come and interact with the WebSphere application server, the complete granular level recording of that is there under the logs folder. So when I go inside the logs folder, I see many files and folders. Not mandatory you know about each and every one of them. Currently, as of now, try to know about the folder by name install. What is the use of the folder install under the logs folder? The folder by name install under the logs folder will contain the recording of the things you are trying to do at the installation level. Whenever you are trying to do the installation of the WebSphere application server, how the installation happen, what are the components that are getting created, what are the components that are getting stored, is the installation successful, failure or partial success. The complete recording of that you can get it at the logs install folder. So when you go to the last few lines of the log.txt, clearly it will show you is the installation success or a failure. Clearly if you see here, it's indicating that the installation of my WebSphere application server is 100% successful. So down the line someone says that you install the WebSphere application server, are you sure the installation of the WebSphere application server is 100% successful? Yes. Go to the logs install directory and you open the last few lines of the last log.txt, and in case if you're seeing the keyword by name inst.conf success, that means the installation of your WebSphere application server is successful. Other than this, if you're trying to see any other thing, that means the installation is either a failure or only a partial success. Clear? Am I clear? Anyone, any questions here? Atif, can just check with everyone. Is everyone is okay? I think I'm little bit overloading them with the information.
One minute, Shiv. Give me one.
Okay.
1 minute. He's using. Can you just shift? You are trying to show the logs file here.
I was
Okay.
explaining about the use of the log folder.
Yeah. So you just tail minus F. Tail command. If you could just explain them again.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, as I said, guys, if I want to view a file in a Windows operating system, how do I view a file? Let's say that someone is asking me, okay, hey Shiva, can you just try to open the jca.repository? Okay, I asked him, in case if it's a Windows operating system, what do? I don't ask anything. I double click it, the file gets open. So I use the upward arrow or downward arrow to go to the up or to go to the down. But in a Unix operating system, if you want to view a particular file, we can view either by using the more command, okay, by cat command, by less command, and by tailf command, and also by the vi command. But what is meant by vi command? We already discussed about that. Again, I'm not touching on that. But more file name, cat file name, less file name, if you give, it will open the complete file. You said, Shiva, not like that. I don't want to open all the file. I just want to view only the last 100 lines, last 20 lines, like that. If you want to do it in that way, then you can use the command called as a tail command. Okay. If you want to view, let's say, last 100 lines of the file name, then you simply say tail minus 100. Okay, the name of the file. It will open only the last 100 lines of that particular file. You said, Shiva, not even 100 lines. I just want to view only the last few lines of that particular file. Then you say tail f. F means few lines of the file by name underscore file. So I did the installation of the WebSphere Application Server, okay, and I wasn't sure whether the installation is successful or not. But I learned that, okay, when you go to the wasm logs folder, under it we have a folder by name install. Whatever the things I'm trying to do at the installation level, the complete recording of that is there under the logs. I did the installation, which is a thing which I'm trying to do related to the WebSphere. So a recording of that will be there under the logs install folder. Where the recording will be there? The recording will be there under the log.txt. So I don't want to open the complete log.txt. I just want to view the last few lines of that particular file so that I can know the installation was successful or failure. So what did I did? I said log.txt tailf. When I said tailf log.txt, it showed me the last few lines of that particular file, and I could see a status code by name inst.conf success, okay, which clearly indicates that the installation of the WebSphere Application Server by default is successful. Other than this, if you see any other status code, which could be inst.conf failure, which could be either inst.conf partial success. If you are trying to see the status code other than inst.conf success, it indicates that the installation was not successful. Somewhere you made a mistake. Check that and come back. Or the other use of this particular log.txt is that someone said that, hey Shiva, you did the installation, but can you guarantee how the installation happened? I'll give him the last few lines of this particular file, and I'll highlight the inst.conf success, and I'll say that, boss, it is a status code that comes provided only the installation is successful. So I'm seeing this that status code as success, which clearly indicates that the installation of the WebSphere applicant server I did is 100% successful. Clear? Atif, am I clear? Atif, is everyone clear over there? Yes, everyone there?
Shift, we'll take a break here for 5 to 6 minutes. Let's have some, like a drink, and then we'll come back.
No problem.
Okay?
No problem.
Okay. 5 to 6 minute break.
Okay, I'll wait.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi guys, sorry, I'm back. Everyone able to hear me?
Yeah, Chef, we can.
Okay, cool. So let's continue our session. Okay. Okay. After we have discussed about the logs folder, the next and the most important folder we have is the profile templates folder. What is meant by this profile templates folder? Okay, profile templates folder is a folder that contains the templates related to the different profiles we have got. Okay, if you see here, we have got the different kinds of profile like a cell, app server, DMGR, custom, etc. and etc. The complete templates related to them. Okay, whenever you are trying to, let's say that I'm trying to manufacture a car. How do you manufacture a car? I don't go to the manufacturing unit and start assembling the parts. First, I create a prototype, present it. Once the approval I get, referring to the template, referring to the prototype, I try to manufacture my car. In a similar way, you want to create a profile. How you can create? You can create it in multiple ways. But at any point of the time, if you want to create a profile from the command line, okay, using the non-GUI mode, then when you're trying to create a profile using the non-GUI mode, okay, the particular instruction will clearly ask you, hey, can you provide me with the sample template of the profile you want to create? Then at that time we'll refer to this. What I'm trying to discuss? We're trying to discuss about the folder called as profile templates. What is meant by profile templates? Profile templates is a folder, okay, which contains the templates related to the different profiles that are available in our environments. What are the different templates available? The different templates available inside our WebSphere application server are cell profile, default profile. These are the different profiles that are available in our environment. If I want to create these profiles from the command line, then you have to say to the controller that this is the, you have to refer to the template and you have to say to the controller that, hey, this is the profile type I want to create. For example, let's say that you want to create an application server profile. Then you have to say to the controller that, hey, refer to the default template because I want to create an app server profile. Okay, in case if you want to create a DMGR profile, you have to say to the controller that, hey, I want to create a DMGR profile. So please refer to the template called as an DMGR template available under the profile templates folder. Am I clear? Anyone, any questions? Okay. The next one we have is the uninstall folder. What is the use of an uninstall folder? The use of an uninstall folder is the one using which you can uninstall the software. Generally, we have a bad habit that whenever we want to remove a particular software, we simply delete the software. Deleting the software will not ensure that the software is completely removed from our hard disk. Whenever you want to do a removal of a software from your environment, in a Windows, how do we do that? We go to the control panel, add and uninstall a program. Let's say that I want to uninstall an Acrobat Reader. I'll simply say Acrobat Reader, select that and then say uninstall. Similarly, whenever you want to uninstall the WebSphere application server, don't try to delete the files and the folders. First, try to execute the command called as an uninstall or setup.jar, uninstall the software. In case if there are any files and the folders still present, then at that time you can remove the files and the folders. Anyone, any questions still here? Silence, can I assume it's clear to everyone? Silence means can I assume it's clear to everyone? Okay. silence, I'll assume it's clear to everyone. If every one of you are clear and if you don't have any questions, let's continue our topic and let's start discuss about a new topic called as the profile creation. Couple of folders are still there. We'll not talk about them right now. We'll talk about whenever the context comes. But these are a couple of folders and the files which you have to know at any cost. So I've discussed about them. The other folders like a profile folders, profiles folder, temp folder, etc. I'll talk while trying to talk about the context when it comes. I'll try to talk about them. Okay. So let's continue with our new topic here for today called as an profile creation. I know the basics of the WebSphere application server. So I have installed the WebSphere application server. After I have installed the WebSphere application server, I want to play with the WebSphere application server. I want to work with the WebSphere application server. To do anything and everything, first thing you have to do is you have to create a profile. How I can create a profile? Okay, couple of minutes back we said that whenever you want to create a profile, we have two files, either the profile management folder or either by using the manage-profiles.sh we can create a profile. But whenever you want to create a profile, irrespective of the type of operating system you are having, clear? I'm trying to understand how do I create a profile. Irrespective of the type of the operating system you are having, whenever you want to create a profile, you can create a profile either by using the GUI mode or either by using the silent mode. Clear? I want to create a profile. How do I create a profile? Either by using the GUI mode or either by using the silent mode, I can create a profile. How do I create a profile by using the GUI mode? Okay, whenever I'm saying GUI mode, it's by default meant for the Windows operating system. That doesn't mean that for the Unix I can't use them. Even for the Unix also you can use them. But by default GUI is supported only on the Windows based operating system. So that's the reason I said Windows. But even if your Unix operating system supports the GUI, then even in the Unix operating system also you can create a profile by using the GUI mode. How I can create a profile using the GUI mode? Okay, in case of a Windows operating system, go to the WASM. Under that we have a bin folder. Okay, under that we have a profile management folder. Okay, under that we have a profile management folder. Then inside that we have an executable file by name pmt.sh in case of a Unix or pmt.bat in case of a Windows. Clear? Either whenever you want to create a profile using the GUI mode, which is by default meant for the Windows, or if your operating system supports Unix operating system supports the GUI, then go to the WASM bin directory. Under that we have a profile management folder. Invoke that. Okay. Then if your Unix operating system supports the GUI capability, then you will get a GUI screen asking you to create a profile. Or as for a Windows, double click on the pmt.bat, then the profile will create for you. Shiva, I'm not clear. Can you explain me with a lab? Okay, this is the path where I have installed the WebSphere application server called as a WASM. Okay, I went to the WASM. Then he's saying that go to the bin and profile management. Bin and profile management. I went inside that. He's saying that in case if it's a Unix operating system, execute or invoke pmt.sh. If it's a Windows, execute, double click on the pmt.bat. This is Linux operating system. So what is the command I have to invoke? pmt.sh. Let me invoke the pmt.sh. I already said a couple of minutes back what the different executable files that are present under the Unix operating system are the sh. Whenever you want to invoke the executable files, then simply say pmt.sh. Okay, /pmt.sh. Since my Unix operating system here supports the GUI capability, the moment I execute the pmt.sh file, a collect screen is coming for me, it's loading for me about the profile creation. Okay, now depending upon your convenience, you launch the tool, and whatever the profile you want to create, click on create and create that particular profile. Anyone, everyone clear? Any questions from anyone? Any questions from anyone? Okay, silence, I'll take it as a no. Okay, the next one we have is the silent mode. Silent mode is by default meant only and only for the Unix operating system, but for Windows also you can use. But how do I create a profile using the silent mode? Very simple. Go to the wasm. Under the wasm we have a bin directory. Do a cd and go to that particular bin directory, and we have a command called as an manage profiles.sh command. Simply invoke this command and you can create a profile. But when you're trying to create a profile using the manage profiles.sh, I'll show you here. I'm there in the wasm. Inside that I have to go to the bin directory, and it's saying that invoke manage profiles.sh. But how do I invoke? I'm not sure about that. So I simply executed a -option called as in help, which will tell me how I can do that. Okay. So the moment I executed a help command, the controller will give me the options which I can do with the manage profiles.sh. If you see here, it's saying that the manage profiles.sh can be used to create a profile, to delete a profile, to augment a profile, to delete the profiles, to list of the profiles. Multiple things can be done by using the manage profiles.sh. But these are all the things which I don't want to do. I just want to create a profile. So since you want to create a profile, say -create. Perfectly fine. You want to create a profile, so you said -create. But what should be the name of the profile? You have to specify. How you can specify? -profile name. Whatever the name you want, you give. Let's say that I have given a name as app srv01. Perfectly fine. You said that you want to create a profile, you have given a name to that particular profile. But where you want to store that particular file, okay, that particular profile, you're installing a particular software. When you're trying to install a particular software, you have to say to the controller that, okay, where do you want to, for example, I want to install a WinSCP software. I have to say to the controller that where I want to install that particular software. What is the path where I want to install that particular software? So in a similar way, when you're trying to create a profile, you have to clearly say to the controller that what is the location where you want to store that particular profile. So how you can say? You simply have to say profile path and mention the path wherever you want. I want to create a profile under the path opt IBM WebSphere App Server profiles app srv01. Okay, you said to the controller that I want to create a profile, and you are given a name to that particular profile. You also mentioned the location where you want to create a profile. Perfectly fine. But when you want to create a profile, you said you want to create a profile, you given a name and you given a path. But as I said on couple of minutes back, just giving the name of the profile will not create a profile unless until you're not specifying the template path. Okay, the profile will not be created. Okay, so how you specify the template path? Okay, if you want to create a DMGR profile, you specify the DMGR template. If you want to create an app server profile, say default. If you want to create a custom profile, say managed. Don't worry about the syntaxes and etc. Just try to understand the concept. I'll give you the link. From that particular link, you can take the syntaxes on how to create a profile. I've already emailed this particular link, I think, to Atif. From Atif, you can get it. By any chance, if you're not getting it, Atif will drop me an email. I'll send an email to him. Atif will drop me an email. I'll send an email to him.
So they already have this link.
Perfect.
Everybody has got this link.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So you have to say profile template. If you're giving the name as app SRV01, your intention was to create an app server profile. But here under the templates, if you're given the template as DMGR, then only the DMGR profile will be created, not the app server profile will be created. The DMGR profile you're trying to create will have a name as an app SRV01. So one very important point to note here is that the name of the profile will not determine what is the type of the profile you are trying to create. You have to say the template, according to that, the profile will be created. If you're giving the DMGR template, the DMGR profile will be created, referred with the name app SRV01. So if you want to create an app SRV01, or if you want to create a profile of the type application server, then mention the template as a default template. Perfectly fine. You said that I want to create a profile. You mentioned the name of the profile. You mentioned the path where you want to create a profile. You mentioned the template type also over there. At the same time, profile means it contains a cell, it contains a node. So please mention the name of that particular cell and the node name. How you can give different names, but since I'm trying to create an app SRV01 profile, so everything I'm trying to refer with that particular one. Okay, you given a node, but if you see the DMGR or application server profile, they have a GUI tool called as an admin console. Okay, so whenever you want to create a profile, okay, which is of the type DMGR or the app server profile, since that particular two profiles has got an admin console, and using that particular admin console, everyone can do whatever the things they want to do with that particular profile. This is not at all acceptable. I'm giving you my laptop. Okay, this laptop, anyone and everyone can enter inside this particular laptop. So whatever the people want to do, they might delete, they might modify, they might install, they might view my security information. They will do whatever they want to do, because I haven't enabled the user ID facility inside my laptop. In a similar way, if you are trying to create a profile and if you are not enabling the admin security, okay, if you're not enabling the admin security, what happens is that anyone and everyone can log into that particular GUI tool called as an admin console, and everything and anything can be done. This is not at all acceptable. If I give my laptop to anyone, okay, without asking them to enter the username and password, the unauthorized people might come and log into enter in my laptop, and whatever they want, they do. So I restricted the people accessibility to this laptop. How? By asking the people to enter the username and password. Similarly, for the profiles like app server profile or the DMGR profile, they have a GUI tool called as an admin console. Using that, as we discussed on the other day, we can view, we can monitor, we can play around with that particular profile. Since that is a security related things, not everyone and everyone should be given an access. The accessibility should be restricted. How we can restrict that? By simply saying -enable admin security true and asking them to enter the username and password. Whatever the username you want, you can enter. I'm giving the username as and the password as like this. Anyone, any questions still here?
One minute, Chef. Yes.
Take the concept, Okay, I'll not talk anything more than this for today because it seems I'm a little bit overloading you with the information. So take this concept and ensure that people create a profile by the time next time we come to a session. I want every one of you to create a profile using the key mode as well as the silent mode by the time we come to our next session.
Shiv, why can't you just, I know this GUI, maybe the silent, maybe we can cover it next time, but for the GUI, at least you can just demonstrate them how to, yeah, it will be easier for them.
No problem.
Yeah,
okay,
just quickly.
I hope everyone remembers how do we invoke the pmt.sh. You invoke the pmt.sh, a GUI screen will come for you. Once the GUI screen comes for you, this is the thing you'll be seeing. Simply click on Launch Profile Management Tool. The moment you click on this, whatever the list of profiles you already have in environment.
Shiv, 1 minute, Shiv. 1 minute, Shiv, 1 minute. Can you just go back one step behind, like just show how to invoke this profile management once again?
Yeah, just double click on that Launch Profile Management Tool. If I go back again, it will be again stop.
Okay.
Okay. Just click on that particular button called as an Launch Profile Management Tool. The same thing you are seeing here. Okay. Click on that. Once you click on that, the list of profiles already created in your environment and the path where they are in will be displayed here. Okay. My requirement is to create a profile. So I'm simply clicking on Create. Okay. It's asking me to say what is the profile I want to create. App server, custom, secure proxy. What is the profile you want to create? Assume that my requirement is to create an app server profile. So I'll select app server or application server and I'll click on next. The moment I click on the next option, once it is coming, okay, it is asking me how do I want to create. Do you want to create the profile using the advanced option or the typical? The moment you click on advanced option, each and everything, okay, will be coming and asking you to customize. But if you select the typical profile creation, the fields that are mandatory for you, only those things will be coming for you. Okay, the fields you as an admin has to enter, only those things will come here. If you are trying to click on the advanced profile creation, either it's necessary or not necessary, all the list of options that are there, it will be displayed for here. I don't want to create a profile with the advanced because it will be very detailed one. Okay, I want to cut short the profile creation and I want to enter those options which I as a WebSphere admin has to modify. So I'm going with the typical profile creation. Okay, since I've selected the app server profile, it will have a GUI tool called as an admin console. So it's asking me, do you want to give the username and password to them? If you want to enable the administrative security and give whatever the username and password you want to give. Okay, once you give the username and password, after enabling the administrative security, click on next. It's saying that, hey, this is the summary of the profile you are trying to create. If you are okay, click on create. If you don't want to create the profile creation, click on cancel. If you want to make any changes, click on back. Whatever is your convenience, okay, do that. If you want to make any changes, click on back. If you're okay with whatever the things you have created, click on create. Okay, once you click on create, the profile will be created for you. Anyone and everyone clear? Anyone any questions? I'm not clicking on create because already I have a profile by the name application server. So that's the reason I didn't click on the create button. But is it clear to everyone?
Yeah, I think it's clear, Shiv. Thank you for that.
I'm 200% sure it will not be clear. Okay. It might be clear. It might be looking as if it's clear, but it will not be clear. I would request everyone at any cost to create a profile either by using the GUI and by using the silent mode. Both the ways you have to use, and you have to create a profile, and let me know the steps in our next session on Thursday. Okay.
it from the silent. Okay.
So what we have discussed today, we have discussed about we have revised about what we have discussed in our last session. We talked about the couple of Unix commands like the more, vi, tailf, okay, cd, etc. commands. We also discussed about the different ways of creating a profile. We have discussed about the two different ways of creating a profile. We have talked about the directory structure that gets created post installing the WebSphere application server, and we have discussed about the most important files and the folders that is present at the VAS home level. We also discussed about the VAS home. Anyone, any questions, you can let me know. Silence, I'll assume it's clear to everyone, then I'll break here for today. Okay? Okay? Okay. Thanks everyone. Silence, I'll assume it's clear to everyone. Thanks everyone. I'm breaking here for today.
Everything. Okay, Chef. Thank you for your time.
Thanks everyone. But please guys practice and let me know if you have any questions in our next session. Bye everyone.
Goodbye. Yeah.
I installed the GUI right in the silent mode. I can't find